Welcome to C Video Lectures. In this lecture I will continue with the file handling in C language. But before that, I would like to suggest you to turn on to full screen mode by clicking on full screen button situated on bottom right corner of this video for better view. In the previous lecture I told you how to print contents of a file using C. But what would happen in case the file whose contents are to be printed is not found? That is, the file whose contents are to be printed does not exist. In that case, we need to add few lines of code. So I'm going to make a small program in developer C++, and that would display an error message in case the file does not exist. So I'm making the program now. Include stdio.h, include conio.h, main function, file star fp, that is, I've declared a pointer fp, and fp is equal to fopen. Now I'm going to write the name of a file. That is, in this program I will try to open a file that does not exist, so I can give any name, say wtghy.c. I'll know that this file, that is wtghy.c, does not exist, so I'm writing this file name, and I will display error. That is, the program will display error that the file is not found, and I'm opening this file in read mode. This R stands for read mode. This file is called the structure that is used to store information about the file which we are going to open, that is this thing, wtghy.c. And if this file is not found, it won't have any information about this file because the file does not exist. So if fp equals to null, that is, the file does not exist, so there is no information available, and this star fp, that is, this fp points towards the address of this file, which is equal to null in case the file is not found. So I'm going to display error message using printf, file not found, and get ch so that output window does not close. The program is complete. I'm going to explain it to you once again. This fopen is used for opening file wtghy.c, which actually does not exist, and this R stands for read mode. Since this file, which is called structure, is used to store information about wtghy.c, and in this case this file would not store anything since this file does not exist. So this star fp, that is pointer fp, which points towards this structure, will store null. So I have used if, that is, in case fp is equal to null, that is, file is not found, it would print file is not found, and get ch so that output window does not close. So I'm compiling the program, control F9. It is asking me to save the file, so I give it abc. Now after saving the file, I need to run it using control F10. There you go. It shows file not found. That is, this file does not exist, and this is the error message. So I hope this program is clear to you. Now I'm going to tell you about all the modes that are available in file handling. In this program we have used R, that is read mode. There are 5 other modes, and I'm going to explain the function of each and every mode to you. There you go. First one is read mode, which we have already studied. And the first thing read mode does is searches the file, and if the file is found, it points towards the first character of the file, and if file is not found, it returns null. Like in last program, file was not found, it returned null. And operations that are possible with this mode are reading from the file. We can only read using read mode. Next mode is write mode, which is written by this W. It searches the file first, and if file exists, that is search is successful, its contents are overwritten. That is whatever the content of the file is, it would be overwritten by new content which we are going to write. And if the file is not found, a new file is created. Suppose I am writing abcde.c, and suppose this file does not exist, so it will make a new file with the same name, abcde.c, and it returns null if unable to open the file. That is, if the file exists, the name which we have specified in the program, that file with same name exists, but we are not able to open it due to some error or compatibility, whatever, it would return null. And operations which are possible are writing to file. Only we can write using this mode. Next mode is A, which is called append mode. It also searches the file first, and if successful, points towards the last character of the file. Unlike read, which points towards the first character of the file, append means to write something extra in the end of the file, so it will point towards the last character of the file. If not successful, that is the file is not found, it will create a new file with same name which we have specified in the program, and returns null if the file cannot be opened due to any error or compatibility issues. And operations which are possible, we can add new contents at the end of the file. So in write mode, the contents are overwritten, but in append mode, the contents are added to the end of the file, so the previous contents are not overwritten. And there is one mode called R plus mode, that is read plus mode, and it searches the file first, and if file is found, it points towards the first character in it and returns null if unable to open the file due to some error. And operations possible in read, that is in R mode, we could only read from the file, but in R plus mode, we can read existing content, we can write new contents. So unlike R plus, with R plus we can read, write and modify existing contents. Then comes write plus mode, that is W plus mode, and it also searches the file, and if file exists, that is file is found, its contents are overwritten, similar to write mode, that is W mode. If the file does not exist, a new file is created and returns null if file is not able to open. And what are the operations possible? We can write new with only W mode, that is write mode, we were able to write only, but with W plus mode we can write and read and modify existing contents of the file. Similarly, there is A plus mode, which is called append plus mode, searches the file, if file is found, it points towards the last character. If file does not, that is if file does not exist, a new file is created with same name and returns null if unable to open the file. So basic difference between R, W, A and R plus W plus A plus mode is that with R mode we can only read, with W mode we can only write, with A mode we can only append, but with R plus mode, W plus mode, A plus mode, we can perform the basic functions like reading, writing, appending, whatever, but we can also have extra functions. For example, R plus we can read, which is the main function of R, but we can also write and modify the contents of existing file. So R plus, W plus, A plus are used to provide additional features to the programmer handling which is performing the file handling using C language. So that is all we have got for today's lecture, and I hope this thing is clear to you. But in the next lecture we are starting with C++. Since we are over with C language, we will start with C++, and you can also download my video from my site, that is sites.google.com/site/pl lectures. In this site you will also find a lot of video tutorials for other languages, so you can also download this video in high definition from my website sites.google.com/site/pl lectures. So that is what we have got for today. Till next lecture, it's goodbye, take care.